Hey everyone, it's Groosty here with another video, but today we're going to go over kind of how I qualified on current gen Xbox for the last 250k tournament weekend qualifier. And I hope if we go over, how I did it and how I was able to, that will help you possibly qualify in this upcoming weekend's tournament qualifier. I will be playing this next one on next gen, so hopefully after this I'll be able to come out with another video about how I qualified on next gen as well. But for now, let's just talk about how I did it on current gen. So you see here, this is at the end. This is a screenshot of the final results. You see me there, Groosy won. Finished in 4th place with 2,058 points. After review, that ended up finishing 2nd place. But even so, 4th place is pretty good in itself, and I'm just glad that I was able to make it. This is the lineup I used, and as you can see, it's a pretty good lineup for the time because this was at the end of Season 1. But, some people probably wouldn't have been running Fred Brown, Draymond Green, Chris Bosh, or maybe Donovan Mitchell. If you think about it at the time, there was Derrick Rose out. I'm trying to think what other guards there were. Kobe, Vince Carter, other centers I could have might have been. I think Anthony Davis was out at the time. Not sure who else. Power forwards, there was Diamond Larry Bird, Diamond LeBron. So my team was definitely kind of a budget team at the time. Really, the only top tier cards I had were Grant Hill, Donovan Mitchell, Carmelo, and Dikembe Mutombo. Basically, I ran most of my offense through Donovan Mitchell, and I ran Fred Brown off the bench to run my offense. One thing you will notice is I do only have 9 players out here instead of 10. That was my strategy to try to keep my overall a little bit lower and help give me, a few extra points. I don't know how many extra points it might have gave me. It had from if I had a 10-man, but it might have been enough to be that 12-point difference between me and Ty Debo there at number 5. So it's up to you. Some people, they want to take in a full 13, so they have the most versatile and the best lineup they can get. I liked running a 9-man at the time. I thought it gave me good options because I could have Dikembe, and if I needed more of a pop that had a quicker release, I could use Chris Bosh. I had a defensive point guard. I had a scoring point guard. I had a defensive shooting guard. I had a scoring shooting guard in Donovan Mitchell. I had a defensive shooting guard in ML Carr. My small forwards, power forwards were pretty versatile too. I had a little more defense from Draymond. Melo was a good defender. Grant Hill, good defender. But Grant and Melo gave me more on offense. Basically, I liked the way I built my lineup for this, and I felt comfortable going in with 9 players, especially because it's 4-minute quarters. So, you might not need a full 10-person lineup. For this upcoming qualifier, I will be running a full 10-man. Not a full 13, but a full 10, and I think that gives me the best shot given the state of the game we're at right now. So now I'm going to go ahead and go over game by game, kind of how the points worked out, and how you will want to kind of attack the day. So basically, I have this broken down. I was able to get the 15 games in the 4-hour period from 1 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern, which is the same time that it will be this upcoming weekend. And I have my winning margin, what quarter the game ended, so if the other person quit, or if it was a full game, how many points I earned, how many real-time minutes the game took, so like how much time was actually spent in the game, and then I broke it down into points per minute, because this is really what's important, is that points per minute. You might have had a game like here. This one was, I scored 178 points in this one and only 104 in this one. But as you can see, this one was 13 points per minute and this one was 9.4 points per minute. And with the way it's time restricted, you're going to want to be scoring as many leaderboard points, this points earned column, per minute of real time. That way you can get the most points throughout the qualifier. So basically, you can see here that the games that ended, this one's kind of an outlier, this first quarter one, but usually the games that were blowouts and the person quit, after they got down a good bit, is really where I did the best. So like this one was a 60-point winning margin in the third quarter. That one was really good for me. Was not the best of the day though. The best of the day was really I was up 21 points in the first quarter and this person quit. So that's, I had 16 points per minute here. This one was a really quick quit. I was up 9 in the first quarter. It only took me 7 minutes, which is actually, 1 more minute than this one took. But I only got 9.1 points. This one I was up 10 in 6 minutes, only 10.3 points. So really what you see is like, if you can get up big early, those were the best games. These second quarter quits, when I was up 22, I was up 25. I did really well in those ones. This first quarter quit was where I was up 21. I did pretty well. And then this 60 in the third quarter. Outside of that, this one I won by 49 points, so almost 50 points, but it was kind of an average game for me because it went a full game. Same with this one where I won by 46. It was only 9.1, which is definitely on the lower end of points per minute. I did have 3 games against known competitive players. This one here, game number 7, was against someone whose gamer tag is Irving. He's been around for a little while in the comp scene. This was a pretty close game throughout. I got up early. He actually came back and took the lead, and for a little bit I think it was in the third quarter, I thought I was going to lose and that was going to be the end of my day. Luckily, that didn't happen. I was able to come back and win the game by 8 in the fourth quarter when he quit. The game did take 19 minutes, and I only scored 6.5 points per minute. This game, number 14 here, I won by 7, and this one was against Ty Debo, so this is the one that most of you might have already seen. This was my lowest points per minute game of the day. It took 24 minutes. It was a full game. Definitely when I matched up with him, I thought there's real potential I will lose this game. Luckily, I didn't, and luckily Ty was still able to qualify as well, even though he lost that game. And then my last game, which was after Ty, is the last game of the day, was against another competitive player. He's a former league, NBA 2K League player. And so I ended up winning that one by 14 when he quit out in the fourth quarter, but I did only get 6.7 points per minute. So what you're seeing is basically the formula, if you will, for how to qualify is get up big and early and hope the other person quits. I think your best route to doing that is by trying to not be toxic to them. A lot of people, especially in the comp scene, they kind of, they do things that will make especially lesser players get a little aggravated. And usually in qualifiers, that's not what you want to do because you don't want people to, use all their timeouts and stall you. Like, you don't want your games to go slow. You want them to go as fast as possible. So I think your best strategy is, don't be flash pausing people. Don't be flopping on people. Don't be like messaging people, telling them to quit, anything like that. Try to, if you need to kind of run up the score, if you can, but you also can't do it in a way that's gonna make them want to, use all their timeouts or pause timer or not quit the game, to kind of hurt you. Another thing that you want to do is you want to play fast, and you want to not use your own timeouts, not use your own pause timer as much as possible. I mean, I know it's important to get your settings in, and it's important, sometimes to call a timeout if needed. I did call a timeout against Ty because I had a wrong lineup in the game, and I didn't have a ball handler in when I needed one, and I was like, this is a point where I need to call a timeout. But in general, in a game that you know you're going to win, you want to spend as little time as possible putting your settings together and either like fouling or calling timeouts. You want the game to go as quick as possible. That way, if you're going to win, you can get out of it as quick as possible. Really, the qualifiers come down to being good at the game, which is, definitely a key part. You have to be one of the top, I would say, couple hundred players in the community. Maybe it's a little bit bigger than that, but that's about what I would say you need to be in to have a realistic chance of qualifying. At least on your console, you need to be a top couple hundred player. You also need to have a little bit of luck that you get matchups where the other person does not want to stall you. They don't want to use all their timeouts. They don't want to intentionally foul, get violations, things like that. And you want to avoid competitive games, so you want to make sure you're getting matched up against lesser opponents. So again, it is a lot of luck, but as you see, I had 3 games against competitive people, so you need to be able to win those games as well. I will probably be out with another video going over what the lineup I'll be taking into qualifiers and maybe some tips on lineups you guys could take into qualifiers tomorrow. But this is it for today's video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope this helps you get ready for tomorrow's qualifier and gives you the best chance at qualifying. I will be out there as well on Next Gen Xbox. So I am also hoping for the best for myself. But definitely, good luck to everyone who will be playing tomorrow. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I hope to see y'all soon.